Hi, and welcome back. We will be demonstrating the multimeter function and the wire identification process. In this example, we will be using our in-house training case, equipped with a simulated horn button, light switch, and a fully functioning ignition switch. This allows us to mimic a real-world install. Note, in this demonstration, we will be identifying the starter wire last, since it will be cut to show the key side from the starter side. During an actual install, you will begin with the starter wire. Starting with the multimeter when checking for 12-volt wire behavior, your meter will be set to VDC, volts direct current, and the number value on the meter will be set to 20. The black lead from the meter will be grounded to bare or unpainted metal. We will be connecting to the pre-installed ground bolt found in the lower right side of the training case. Take your red meter lead and use the bed of nails portion when identifying the wire's behavior. We will begin with the 12-volt constant. When identifying your 12-volt wire behavior, 12 volts or higher should be displayed here on the multimeter. This number should remain the same under all key positions. When turned to the accessory position, the ignition, and the starter position, 12 volts should remain displayed the entire time, confirming this is your correct wire behavior. Now for the ignition wire. This wire should display 0 volts when the key is in the off position, 0 volts when turned to accessory, display 12 volts in the ignition position, and the voltage should remain the same in the key start position. This confirms you have a true ignition wire. The horn wire in this demonstration is negative trigger. This means when connected, the wire behavior should display a voltage number, preferably above 10 volts, when the horn is triggered by pressing the training case horn button, or in a vehicle when pressing the horn pad. The voltage should go down in number as the horn sounds, confirming the correct wire behavior. The lights wire will now be identified. When checking for lights, first identify your trigger type. The lights are positive trigger in the demonstration. As you see, we have 12.41 volts displayed when the light trigger is toggled on or the vehicle's light source is triggered. This confirms the correct wire behavior. A wire we do not use in the install process, but is often mistaken as a true ignition wire, the accessory wire. This wire will display 0 volts in the off position, 12 volts in the accessory position, and 12 volts in the ignition position. But when the key is turned to the start position, the voltage drops to 0. This is not correct wire behavior, and this wire should not be used. As we mentioned earlier, for demonstration purposes only, the starter wire was identified last. In your actual install, the starter wire behavior will be identified first. The starter wire should display 0 volts in the accessory position, 0 volts in the off position, 0 volts in the ignition position, and 12 volts when attempting to start the vehicle. This confirms the correct wire behavior for the starter wire. Now, identify the key side from the starter side. Cut the starter wire and test one side at a time. The first wire side tested shows 0 volts when attempting to start the vehicle, which lets us know this is the starter side. When checking the other end of the cut wire, we see 12 volts displayed when attempting to start. This is our key side of the cut connection. That completes our multimeter tutorial. Thanks for your time and attention.